Hello everyone, good afternoon. So this is today's phonics lesson. We are on Unit 1, Lesson 12 today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you and get started. Okay, so we are on Lesson 12 of Unit 1. Our learning tools for today are: I can read tricky words, I can identify double letter spellings, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, The Chicken Nugget. So yesterday we read the story, The Hot Dog, and we paid careful attention to a certain punctuation mark. Do you guys remember what that punctuation mark was? It was the exclamation mark. An exclamation point is also another way to say it. An exclamation point tells the reader to read with excitement. So yesterday we practiced when we said, get up. That was with just the period. But when we said, get up, that was with an exclamation point. We also focused on a different type of punctuation mark. Do you remember what that one was called? It was a question mark. This ending punctuation mark is called a question mark. We use it at the end of a question. Remember, guys, that every sentence begins with a capital letter, okay? The first letter of the first word of every sentence has to start with a capital letter, and every sentence has to end with a punctuation. There's 3 types of punctuation to end a sentence: a period, an exclamation point, and a question mark. So we're going to practice, okay? We're going to look at this sentence, and I need you guys to decide what's wrong with it. What do we need to fix? Did Mom have a hot dog? What do we need to capitalize in that sentence? We need to capitalize this D. Remember, the first letter of the first word of every sentence has to be a capital letter. So we should capitalize this D. What else is wrong in this sentence? What are we missing over here? Listen to that sentence carefully. Did Mom have a hot dog? Is that sentence telling you something? Is it excited about something? Or is it asking a question? It's asking a question. So what kind of punctuation mark goes at the end of a question? A question mark. Good. It's also called an interrogative sentence. So here's what we did. We capitalized that D, and we added a question mark at the end of the question. Nice job. Here's a second sentence. Such a smell. Remember, this sentence came straight from our story yesterday about the hot dog. When the cat smelled the hot dog and she said, such a smell. What do we need to do to fix this sentence? What's wrong with it? I have my own cat bandit right there on the floor. So we need to capitalize the S because, again, the first letter of the first word has to be a capital. And how did we say the sentence? Did it sound like a question? Did it sound like just a regular statement? Or did it sound like it was something exciting? I think it was an exciting sentence because the cat bandit was super excited to smell such a wonderful smell. So we need to add an exclamation mark or an exclamation point. So we capitalized the S in the first word and we added an exclamation point. Good job. And here's our third sentence. The smell drifted. What do we need to do to that sentence? Well, we need to capitalize this T. That's the first letter of the first word of the sentence. So we need to make that a capital T. And then, is this a question? Is it an exciting sentence? Or is it just a statement? I think it's just a statement too. So it ends with just a plain old period. So we have a capital T at the beginning of the sentence, and we have a period at the end. Nice job. So now we're going to talk about some tricky words. Remember yesterday our tricky word was the word she. Today we're going to learn 3 new tricky words. And remember, tricky words are words that do not play by the rules. They don't play by the spelling rules. So they are words that we have to learn. We just have to memorize them because that's just the way that it works. We can't stretch them out. We can't chunk them. We just have to remember them because they're tricky. So our first tricky word is the word was. Was. That was the best show. That was the best show. So I want you to look at that word was, say it to yourself, say it slowly. Was. What is tricky about that word? I want you to think about that for a minute. What's so tricky about that word? Well, I know when I hear the word was, I hear the w sound at the beginning. And I know that the W is a common way to spell that sound. So that is not the tricky part. But I hear here. And I know that the letter A does not normally make that sound. So I think this might be a part of the tricky part. The letter A in this word makes the sound of a U. Z. I see another tricky part. I hear a Z and I feel my teeth vibrating, and I know that when that happens, it's the letter Z sound. Z. But that's not a Z, that's an S. So I think that is another tricky part. The S at the end of the word was has the sound of a Z. So I think the A sounds like a U and the S sounds like a Z. And those are both tricky, and that's why that is a tricky word. Our next tricky word is the word of. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Of. Look at that word. Stretch it out to yourself. Of. What do you hear that makes this word tricky? When I hear the word of, I hear at the front. This is not the letter that normally makes the sound. So I think that the O is making the sound of the letter U in this word. So that is a very tricky part. Of, wait a minute. I know the letter F says f, not v. So I think this is another tricky part. The F in this word makes the sound of a V. V, v, of. So this is a word that we just have to remember. It does not play by the rules. Here's the next word. Now you might look at that word and think, oh, that's the letter A. And it is the letter A. And some people say the word as A, but other people say it as Let's look at our sentence. May I please have a snack? Now, some people would say, may I please have a snack? Either way is fine, but if you say it, may I please have a snack, that does not look like this letter that would make the sound, does it? So this is the tricky part. The letter A is making the sound of a U. Okay, so we can say it as A or either one. All right, so now we're going to review some sounds from our consonant flip book. And I'm super excited today because I actually get to do it with you, because at school today, the computer systems were all wonky and I couldn't get it to open up. So I didn't get to highlight them in red the way I usually do in class. So I get to show you guys how I'm doing it. All right, so our first, so we're going to review spellings that involve two of the same letters sitting side by side to stand for one consonant sound. Remember yesterday we talked about like the letter B said B, but then when you have two B's together, it still says B, okay? Or we have the letter D and it says D, but if you have two D's together, it still says D, okay? So we're gonna learn some more of those today. There's a lot more than you would expect. Our first sound is P, 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 like in the word napping, napping, napping. When you say that word, napping, you don't hear the P twice. You only hear it one time. So we can have the P sound with either the letter P or two P's together. But let's look at our power bar. Does this power bar show us that this is a spelling for the P sound that happens a lot or not very often? It doesn't happen very often because look how small that power bar is. It is not a very common spelling for the P sound. The next sound is the T sound, T, like in the word sitting, sitting. We don't hear the two T's at different times. We hear it at the same time. We hear T. So you can have the T sound either with one T by itself or with two T's beside each other. And let's look at that power bar again. What does that tell us? That's right. It tells us that this is not a very common way to spell the T sound. Good. Our next sound is the S sound. S, like in the word dress. Let's all say that word together. Dress. You guys hear that at the end? Okay. So we can have the sound S with one S or with two S's side by side. And if we look at the power bar, it is not a very common way to spell the sound S. But look, this one is bigger than this one. Do you see the difference? I see this one's a little fatter. And we have the sound Z, Z. So we can have the Z sound with one Z or with two Z's, like in the word buzz, buzz. Let's say this word together, buzz. Good. And if we look at our power bar, that is not a very common way to spell that word, that sound, is it? It's not very common at all. Now we have the sound, like in swimming, swimming. Let's say that together, swimming. Good. We can have it with one M or with two M's beside each other. And this again is not a very common way to spell the sound Okay, we have the N sound, N, like running, running, which is made with one N by itself or two N's side by side. That power bar is still pretty small. Still not a very common way to make the N sound. And then we have the R sound, R, like in the word ferret, ferret. Let's say that word together, ferret, ferret. Good. So the sound can be with one R or with two R's side by side. And look at that power bar. It is very small. That tells me this is not a common way to spell the sound. So I want you to notice that double letter spellings are found at the end of words and in the middle of words. It is very rare for a double letter spelling to be at the beginning of a word. Let's go back and look. The double P is in the middle of the word. The double T is in the middle of the word again. The double S is at the end of the word. The double Z is at the end of the word. The double M is in the middle of the word. The double N is in the middle of the word. And the double R is in the middle of the word. None of those were at the beginning of the word. So those double letter spellings are going to be at the end of the word and at the beginning of the word almost all the time. All right, so now we get to do your code chart with me. I gotta find it. Okay, here it is. All right, so we have to think out which sounds we just learned about. So here's my Cami. I have it opened in Cami. I need to make sure I'm on red because remember we do the consonant sounds in red. I need to make sure that I am fully nice and dark. If I have it all the way down here, I'm transparent. So I need it up here. And I want a nice thick line, but not too thick. Okay, I don't know if my stylus is gonna work, but we're gonna try. So we did the double P's in napping. Ooh, it's working. Good. Okay. We did the double T's in sitting. Oh, we did the double S's in dress. Okay. We did the double Z in buzz. We did the double M's in swimming. And we did the double N's in running. What was the last one, guys? You remember what the last one was? We did the double R's in ferret. Nice job. Okay. And I think that is all that we have done so far today with our double spellings. Okay, so let's get back to our slideshow. All right, so what we're going to do now is this is something new that we are starting. Okay, we are, am I still sharing? Okay, I'm still sharing my screen. Just wanted to make sure. We're going to do something new. They're called wiggle cards. So what it is I'm going to show you a word or a phrase on the screen, and you are going to stand up and act it out. Okay, so our first word is stand still. So I need you to stand up out of your chair, and you're going to just stand still. Okay, good job. All right, now our second one is to act sluggish. So the word sluggish is kind of hard. Maybe you guys don't know what the word sluggish is, but I want you to imagine that you have been at Dollywood all day long. Okay, it has been hot, it has been crowded, and you are so tired and so hungry and so sleepy that you just kind of move. You're just so sluggish. Like your parents have to drag you out to the car. You're just walking so tired. So you're acting so sluggish. So I want you to act sluggish. Okay? Ready? Go. All right, nice job. Our next word is unpack a bag. So you're going to pretend that you have a bag in front of you and you were unpacking it and you were putting stuff on your table. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, nice job. Good job, guys. All right, so you can sit back down now. If you need to pause and like do some jumping jacks and run in place or take a bathroom break, go ahead and do that, okay? All right. So our new story for today is called The Chicken Nugget. So let's look first at our table of contents to see what story comes after the hot dog and what is that story on. So here's our story, the book called The Cat Bandit. And here is our table of contents. What story comes right after the hot dog? The Chicken Nugget. Good job. The name of the story is The Chicken Nugget. What page does the chicken nugget start on? Well, if I follow my little dots here all the way down, it tells me it starts on page 6. Good job. Okay, it starts on page 6. Moving that over so I can see it. Okay. So when I say the word nugget, think about, what does that mean? What does that word mean to you? Okay, so we're going to talk about 3 different ways to use the word nugget, 3 different definitions. But before we do that, we're going to read this word out loud together. We're going to find out how many syllables are in that word. We're going to blend the word together, and then we're going to read the word all out loud together, okay? So remember yesterday, I told you about putting your hand under your chin to find out how many syllables are in a word. Because remember, every time your chin goes down to say the word, that is a syllable, okay? So I'm going to do the word nugget, nugget. How many times is my chin going down? Nugget. You guys do it. Put your hand under your chin and say the word slowly. Nugget. Nugget. How many syllables is that? That is 2 syllables. Good job. All right, so we're going to blend this word together, basically the same way that we just did the syllable. When we did the syllable, where does the first part of the word stop? Nug. Nugget. 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 How many sounds do we hear in this word? Let's think about the sounds. N-ug-et. N-ug-et. I hear 5 sounds. N-ug-et. I hear 5 sounds. Good job. Let's say this word all together. Ready? Nugget. Nugget. Let's say it one more time. Nugget. Good. So when we think about the word nugget, some of you may have automatically said that it was like a chicken nugget, okay? Which makes sense because I love chicken nuggets too. When we're talking about food, the word nugget talks about a piece of food that is bite size. It doesn't always have to be a chicken nugget, okay? It could be like, you ever had those little tiny little hot dogs? Little weenie hot dogs? That would be a nugget of food. Doesn't mean it's a chicken nugget, but it's a nugget of food. You can have little tiny cakes called pedophores. That would be a nugget of food because those are all bite-sized pieces of food. Another way to use the word nugget is to describe a lump of gold. It would be a gold nugget. I would like to find one of those in my chicken nugget box. It kind of looks like a chicken nugget. You'll see that? And the third way to use the word nugget is to describe wisdom. A small piece of good advice is also called a nugget of wisdom. All right, so yesterday we paid special attention to punctuation marks. These same marks will be in today's story, okay? So we're looking for exclamation points and question marks. and periods. But we're really focusing on exclamation points and question marks. The one word that we need to review before we read the story is also one of our spelling words, and it's the word sprang. Let's say that word together. Sprang, sprang. And if you look at our little guy here, he's jumping on a trampoline. And so when he goes up really quickly, he has sprang off the trampoline because it's a past tense. It's hard for me to say this. When he sprang off the trampoline, that means that he went up suddenly, forward or up suddenly. If we look at the little guy in the middle, it looks like he's going forward, obviously, suddenly. Look at how fast he's going by these little lines right there. And the horse here is going up and over and forward suddenly over this little barrel thing. So to sprang, it means to move up or forward quickly. All right, now that is a huge word right there, right? There are these special words. They're so fun. There are these special words in our language that sound like actual sounds, okay? Like the word moo. It sounds like the actual cow, right? Or oink sounds like the actual noise the pig makes. Or splash sounds like when you splash water. Or when you say boom, it sounds like a big boom, okay? Or pow, or bang. Those are all words that sound like an actual sound. And those special words are called onomatopoeia. It's a big word. Let's say it together. We're going to break it into chunks. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. That's what those special words are called. Onomatopoeia. All right, so these words will appear in our story. We're going to record the onomatopoeia on a chart paper, okay? So we're going to be looking for those onomatopoeia words. So based on the story title, The Chicken Nugget, what do you think the story is going to be about? I want you to turn and tell your learning partner what you predict the story is going to be about. Think about yesterday. The story was called The Hot Dog. What happened in that story? The cat ate the hot dog. So this story is called The Chicken Nugget. What do you think is going to happen this time? Tell your learning partner and then push play when you're ready to go on. Oops. Okay, so we are going to read today's story to see if our predictions are correct, okay? So let me pull up the story. What? Yes, but they can still see me, honey. You want to say hi?
No.
That's my daughter in the floor. Okay, The Chicken Nugget. Hank set his dish in the sink. He left a big chicken nugget on the dish. The nugget was still hot. The smell of chicken drifted up from the sink. It drifted into the den. The cat bandit was napping in the den, but he was sniffing as he slept. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Look at him laying here on his little rug, and look at the aroma. The scents from the chicken nugget are just drifting into the den with him, and he can smell them. The cat bandit sprang up. He ran in and spotted the nugget in the sink. He sat a bit, thinking up a plan. Then he went to the closet and got a bunch of boxes. He set up a box. Then he set a big box next to that box. Then he set the biggest box next to the sink. The cat bandit set off running. He ran up the boxes, hopping from box to box. Then, munch, munch, munch. That was the end of the chicken nugget. Look, there's the nugget in the sink. You see it? Looks like somebody took a bite out of it. And look at the boxes. He stacked the boxes, 1, 2, 3, so that he could run up and then get up on the counter. That's a smart kitty cat, huh? Smart cat. Okay, so let's go back. Now, I already did this with my class today, but I still want to go over it with you this afternoon, okay? So we're going to look at title, characters, setting, the food the cat bandit stole, and how the cat got the food. So yesterday our story was the hot dog. And the main characters were Mom and the cat bandit. The setting yesterday was in the den. Remember, that's the small room off to the side where you can have certain things. Like some people have like a computer and office stuff in their den, or some people have workout equipment in their den. It's like a small room. It's not the living room. It's not really where you watch TV with your family. It's a separate room off to the side, and it's usually smaller. The food that the cat bandit stole yesterday was a hot dog. And he got the food because he jumped on the stool. Well, I would like for that to go away so I can see it. He jumped on the stool and then onto the shelf. Today's story was the chicken nugget. The characters were, oh, that is supposed to say the cat bandit, not the can bandit. Typo. Oops. The cat bandit. I'm going to fix that really quick. And the other character was Hank. The setting for today's story was in the kitchen. And this time he stole a chicken nugget. And he stole it because he stacked boxes and ran up to the counter. So, were your predictions correct? Did what you thought was going to happen in the story actually happen? My prediction was that the cat bandit was going to steal the chicken nugget and eat it. So my prediction was correct because he did steal the chicken nugget and he ate it. So let's talk about these questions. The cat bandit was napping in the den. What does this mean that he was doing? What does napping mean? Napping means you're sleeping. You're taking a short sleep, like not when you sleep all night long, but a short nap, just a few hours, maybe even 20, 30 minutes. But a nap means you're sleeping. Where did Hank set his dish? He set his dish in the kitchen sink. Good job. Nice answers. What was on the dish? A big chicken nugget. That's what the story said, a big chicken nugget. Why did the cat bandit stop napping? What happened to make him wake up? He could smell the aroma of the chicken nugget. It came drifting into the den where he was sleeping, and that's what woke him up. So how did the cat bandit reach the chicken nugget? Right, he stacked boxes up, so like small, medium, large, and then he ran up the boxes and then jumped up onto the counter. Nice job. So what does the cat bandit do in this story that a real cat would not be able to do pretty much? You guys want to see my cat bandit? Here she is. Say hi, Minerva. Say hi. She's a cat bandit too. So I think that the cat could definitely eat the chicken nugget. I think the cat could definitely take a nap. I think the cat bandit could definitely smell the aroma of the chicken nugget. What I don't think a real cat could do in real life is to go get boxes out of a closet and stack them up so that the cat could run up the boxes. That's what I don't think the cat could do in real life. All right, so you were going to do, well, before we do that, let's talk about our onomatopoeias. Did you guys hear any onomatopoeias in that story? Words that sound like actual sounds? Let's go back to the story. My cat's climbing on a box right now. Do you guys see any on this page? I see one. It's a word that repeats. The word sniff. It says sniff, sniff, sniff. That is a word that sounds like an actual sound. So that is an onomatopoeia. Good. I think that there's one more on this page. Do you guys see it? I think it's right down here on the bottom. Munch, munch, munch. That is also a sound, a word that makes a noise like an actual sound. So that is our second onomatopoeia. So we have sniff, 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 and then we have munch, munch, munch. Those are our two onomatopoeias for this story. Can I help you? Can you get out of my camera? Thank you. Okay. So you are going to do 2 worksheets today, okay? You're going to open them in Kami, okay? And what you are going to do is make sure you're on the drawing tool. You can do whatever color you want. You're going to read the sentences inside these boxes, okay? They are not in order. Do you understand? You have to read the sentences and put them in the order of the story, okay? So this one says, let's pick one. I'm going to pick this one. Then munch, munch, munch. That was the end of the chicken nugget. Well, is that the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, or the end of the story? Well, that's the end of the story. So I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 boxes. So if that's the last part of the story, then I know that I need to put a 5 here because that's the last one, okay? So you are going to read all of these sentences and you're going to put them in order that they belong in the story, okay? And then you're not going to have that page. Don't worry about that page. And then down here, you're going to read the story. Now you can write it with your stylus or you can make a text box. Okay, it's up to you what you want to do. If you make a text box, you can type it, okay? So, mom had blank hot dog. You're going to use the words up here in this box, okay? So you got to try all of them to see which one makes sense. Mom had the hot dog. That sounds pretty good, but we can't just pick one. We've got to use all of them in the sentence to see which one makes the best sense, okay? Mom had a hot dog. Mom had he hot dog. Mom had she hot dog. Mom had B hot dog. Which one makes sense? I don't think he, she, or B makes sense at all. So we need to choose between the and a, okay? So we can, and they both sound right, okay? So the thing is, maybe you need to read the whole paragraph and see if there's one that gets used somewhere else. But you're going to create a text box. Okay, and look, when you click on it, it should come right back, okay? All right, so you're going to create a text box and type in there and answer the finish the sentences with the correct words, okay? All right. So we just went over those 3 sheets. Okay, so our learning targets for today were, I can read tricky words, and we did that. We read the word she, was, of, and And I know on your school supply list, you had yellow index cards as one of your school supplies. If you have not gone to get those yet, you're going to need to get them because we're going to start writing on the index cards our tricky words. And I know these aren't yellow. I left my yellow ones at school, and obviously I'm at home. So I had to improvise with white ones. My yellow ones will be there tomorrow, okay? So you're going to need yellow. I know at Walmart they sell a pack that has like yellow, blue, purple, and green and pink, I think. So there are yellow cards in there. So you need yellow cards, please, to write those tricky words on your yellow cards. We also said I can identify double letter spellings, and we did that with our double B's, double D's, double T's, double N's, double M's, double S's, double P's. All of those were double letter spellings. And I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, The Chicken Nugget. And you guys did great with those questions. We had 6 questions today, and you guys did a really good job answering those. Okay, so now I want you guys to make sure, please, that you are doing your fluency homework. I'm going to show you where it's at again, just in case you don't remember. So if this is our, oops, that's the wrong classroom, hold on. This is our classroom page, okay? You're gonna come to classwork. You're gonna find Phonics Week 5. And this is your story and activities. It's scheduled to come out to this morning. Right here it says Phonics Fluency Passage. And I did forget to give this to you last night, but I gave you an extra day to work on it, okay? So it says, this is your fluency passage for the next several days. Please open in Cami so that your parents can initial or sign each night. You will need to read the passage 3 to 5 times each night. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Monday night. Please do not submit this until Monday evening. If you turn this in to me before Monday evening, Monday is the Monday is the 21st. If you turn this into me before Monday the 21st, then you did not follow directions because you were supposed to read it 3, 4, or 5 times a night, each school night. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Monday night. Okay? Please do not turn it in until Monday. Now, what you're going to do when you open it, you're going to open it with Cami. Okay? That way your parents can sign it each night. So here's the passage. Let's say that it's Wednesday night. I'm going to read it. Did you know? Big cats, little cats, lions, or kittens, they are a lot alike. Cats are expert hunters. They are able to leap, run, crouch, or stay perfectly still. Cats will stalk and then spring on their prey. Sharp claws and sharp teeth help them too. Cats also see very well at night, and they have keen hearing, which helps them when they hunt. Cats make wonderful pets too. You will see them use some of their hunting skills when they play with you. That was one time. I'm going to read it again. Did you know? Big cats, little cats, lions, or kittens, they are a lot alike. Cats are expert hunters. They are able to leap, run, crouch, or stay perfectly still. Cats will stalk and then spring on their prey. Sharp claws and sharp teeth will help them too. Cats also see very well at night, and they have keen hearing, which helps them when they hunt. Cats make wonderful pets too. You will see them use some of their hunting skills when they play with you. That's twice. I got to read it at least one more time. Did you know? Big cats, little cats, lions, or kittens, They are a lot alike. Cats are expert hunters. They are able to leap, run, crouch, or stay perfectly still. Cats will stalk and then spring on their prey. Sharp claws and sharp teeth help them too. Cats also see very well at night, and they have keen hearing, which helps them when they hunt. Cats make wonderful pets too. You will see them use some of their hunting skills when they play with you. Okay, so I've read it 3 times. Today is Wednesday. So what my mom is going to do, my mom is going to make sure she's on the drawing tool. I'm going to choose blue. Okay, I'm going to choose blue. I like the color blue. All right, oops. I need to make sure that it's not too fat because I just need to sign something. Okay, so I'm going to say today is, I'm just going to use my finger, 9-16. Okay, now your parents can sign their whole name, or they can just make their initial. Okay, totally up to you. But they're going to do that for 4 nights in a row. Do you understand? Okay, make sure that you tell your parents this. Make sure you have them watch. Okay, now if this is hard for you to read, I understand that. I'm going to pause the video for just 1 second so I can get my daughter to help me. Caitlin. Caitlin. Yeah. Come here. What? Come here. I need you to help me, please. Why? Because. Okay. So you are going to echo read with me. Do you remember how to echo read?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I need you to help me, please. We'll just do it for a few lines. Do you not want to be in the camera?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to read it first, and then you're going to read it after me. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to echo read if you have not learned this yet in your other classes in 1st grade. Okay. Big cats, little cats.
Big cats, little cats.
Lions or kittens.
Lions or kittens.
They are a lot alike.
They are a lot alike.
Cats are expert hunters.
Cats are expert hunters.
They are able to leap.
They are able to leap,
Run, crouch, or stay perfectly still.
or stay perfectly still.
Okay, thank you, baby. All right, so that is what it means by echo read. You have someone else who's a fluent reader read it first, and then you read it after them. They do it in short little phrases, okay? Don't do like a whole sentence at once. Do short little phrases. That way you practice saying the phrase fluently. Okay, so that is your work for today. Let me go look to make sure I've got everything else. Got your activities and your fluency passage. Don't forget that you need to be writing your spelling words in your phonics journal. And here is your list of spelling words. Okay, and I'll show you this. I added this in so you can play with it and practice. As soon as you open it, here are your spelling words. You can practice saying the words, spelling the words, using the words in a sentence. Okay, so those are your words, and that will help you to practice as well. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, so that is our lesson for today. That's lesson 12. And I hope you guys have a great afternoon. I'll see you later.